Welcome back to the neighborhood, boys and girls. Our next guest is Roscoe Potts. Roscoe, welcome to the neighborhood.
How we doing?
Roscoe is with Pat McKenna Realtors, EXP in Marlton.
Yeah.
Nice. And you're new with them, right?
I am. Fairly, yeah. We're approaching just about a year now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we do stuff a little different on the show.
Okay.
It's not all business.
Right.
A lot of it is personal about you.
Okay.
So before we get into the business side of things,
Right.
talk a little bit about your personal journey from your life that got you into real estate. What was the pre-real estate Roscoe like? Talk a little bit about how you got there.
So like before I got into real estate?
Yeah.
Before I got into real estate, I was an aquatics director and a head swim coach of a swim team in South Jersey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And what school did you go to for that?
So they're actually out of a gym.
Okay.
Metro Fitness was a gym, and they have a privately owned swim club.
Okay.
And I coached there since 2012.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. That seems like a pretty different transition. It doesn't seem like they complement each other. How did you go from swim coach to real estate? Was it just something that popped up one day?
Real estate was always something that I wanted to do, and I always spoke about it with my wife.
Okay.
And I got licensed in 2018.
Okay.
When I got licensed in 2018, I didn't really do anything with it. No, wait, 2019. 2019, I got my license, not 2018. It's all a blur. I didn't really do anything with my license the first year. Second year, people started to call me out a little bit more, started to promote myself just through word of mouth.
Okay.
And people started calling me, but it was more like this because I still had a full-time job.
Mm-hmm.
And then the past couple of years, I decided to go full-time into it.
And when did you take the jump? When did you dive into I'm quitting my full-time job and going full-time real estate?
Towards the end of COVID.
Okay.
Yeah, towards the end of COVID. So like during COVID, they closed down all the gyms, all the pools,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. And then when the gyms opened back up, USA Swim had a template on how to get kids in the pool to practice.
Okay.
And it wasn't one that was feasible for my schedule for dabbling in real estate at the time, right? Plus, I didn't want to be there from like 6 a.m. to like 9 p.m. just coaching 4 kids at a time.
Right.
Some people built for that. I'm not. I got to be moving around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was it about real estate that was attractive to you? Is it the nurturing of people? Did you see a show or did you buy real estate and somebody impressed you? How did you get that first little bug?
My aunt and uncle, who I stayed with when I first moved up to the U.S., they were in it when I moved up here.
Okay.
And that was in 2008.
Okay.
When everybody was getting mortgages like it was candy.
Right.
At Halloween time.
Yeah.
So they had 3 properties. I saw my uncle working on the properties. My aunt, she had a cleaning business, so she would do like clean outs and deep cleans and all that stuff. And so that's how I saw it.
Nice.
Yeah. And they built they had 3 properties that they were collecting rent on. And I was like, yeah, that looks like a pretty good deal.
I'll take 3 of them, please.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And have you always been a salesy person, or is that part of the job more difficult for you? There's some realtors that are like, boom, you're flash, they're salesmen, and there are other people that are like, I love real estate, I hate being a salesperson.
Yeah. So I love real estate. I hate being a salesperson. And I wasn't always a salesperson because when you sell swim lessons. You never really had to sell swim lessons.
Yeah, they're kind of begging you for it.
Yeah.
Right.
Good swim instructors, they're like hard to come by. So people just brought the kids on through like word of mouth.
Right.
You know, people do more for their kids than they'll do for themselves.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
All day.
If it's like to get their kids something or like into a door, they don't second guess it. Selling a house, people second guess it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, they're calling their uncle, sister's brother's cousin who was a real estate agent in 1987.
Yeah.
They ask their opinion of what's going on, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Second guessing.
Yeah. Yep.
Now, do you tend to gravitate towards a certain client? Like, do you tend to be more of a buyer's agent or more of a listing agent, or is it just all the way around you take what comes to you?
So this is a controversial subject for me, and but I'll talk about it and I'll let you know why. So when I first moved to Pat McKenna Realtors, right? They have these lead programs, right, through Zillow Flex, and that's what I got on.
Okay.
Right. So when I got onto the Zillow Flex program, there were a lot of buyers that I was picking up the calls for. Right. I would take them out, show them property, and then they never call back. Right. There's this one buyer, I took her and I showed her 12 properties in one day, up and down the 295 corridor. Right. 12 properties. It was raining. I started at like 8, got done at like 7. Right. And she didn't buy anything from me. I still stay in contact with her from time to time. She's in my CRM and she's actually really nice. But after that, I was like, you know what? This is a lot of work for people that aren't sure that they're going to work with me. Right. So with that said, I think that gave you the answer that I tend to gravitate more towards listings than buyers. Not to say that if a buyer come along and wanted to work with me and I was willing to do everything that I said, well, not everything, like 90% of the things that I said,
Right.
I wouldn't work with them. Right.
Right.
It's just the surety of knowing that when someone puts a pen to paper that I'm gonna let you sell my house, I know that they ain't going anywhere.
Right. Yeah, you can't lose. Well, it's very hard to lose them.
Yeah.
After that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. And you were talking when we sat down. You were talking about a client that you had in Ocean City that you were able to help out.
Yes. Yes.
You know.
Yes. She was. I farmed this neighborhood, and her friend got the postcard.
Okay.
Gave her my number, and she called me. And ever since then, that was like 5 or 6 months ago, we've been talking like every week, right? She called me. A week passed by. If she didn't call me, I'd call her, and then we'll have like these conversations. They're very repetitive conversations, but you do what you got to do.
Yeah.
And in this game, people want to be heard. So if you can be the outlet for them, then they'll use you because that's how you build relationships, right?
Sure.
So I got her. She's from Ocean City, and she wanted to buy something closer to her kids. So I helped her buy something, and I know that she was a serious buyer because of how often she would talk to me.
Right.
She would pick up the phone and call me. Right. Like 75% of the times.
Yeah. So she's not playing around.
That's a serious buyer.
Sure.
Right. Who wants to work with you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Questions? Call me. Right. Just like wanting to talk out to the blue on like a Saturday evening, she'd call me.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now that's Saturday night, answering the phone. How do you juggle family life, dad, husband, Roscoe, with superstar real estate agent? How do you juggle the two and not lose balance?
I like to think I have like a pretty balanced life with real estate and home. I don't have any kids, so that's what I think allows me the luxury to be more flexible with my clients and my home life.
Okay.
You know, my wife, she's very supportive, and she wants to see me be successful at this thing. And
That's real important.
Yeah, and she likes the checks that come in. So yeah.
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 The checks are nice. You know what I mean? If you like shoes and pocketbooks, you know what I mean? It's not a bad thing to be in, you know what I mean? Yeah. That's awesome. Okay, now, what do you do personally, mind, body, soul, those kind of things, to keep your cool? Because this is a stressful business and things get tough. What do you do hobby-wise or relaxation-wise to...
So, my wife, again, she's another big component of that, because we hang out all the time after like being together since 2013. Like, we still hang out. I still like her.
Still like her?
Yeah. It's like you love your kids, but sometimes I don't really like you right now. You know what I mean? So
I can't say that. I can't say that.
So I still like her. So it doesn't make going back home a hard thing to do, right? And then I still teach kids swim lessons, just 2 days out of the week.
Okay.
And I teach the little guys.
Yeah.
Right. The 3-year-olds and the 4-year-olds, because they're still fun.
Yeah.
Right. I don't have to be serious with them. Right.
Yeah.
I get into the water. We play games, and through playing, they learn.
Sure.
Right. So, and there's not much expectations from kids that age.
Nah, that's unconditional love right there. Sure. For sure.
So I feel like there's not much expectations from me. Although I put like expectations on myself that I want to see them hit this by this time. Mm-hmm. But it's all done through play, and I like it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what gets you going, right?
Right.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. So we talked a little bit about previous stuff. Now we're going to talk future stuff.
Okay.
Go 2 years in the future in the time machine. 2025 May. Mm-hmm. Give me some goals that you have set for yourself, some things that you're going to accomplish in the next 2 years, both personally and business-wise. Where are you going to go to?
So in the next 2 years, I want to be able to buy a multifamily property.
Okay.
And the site behind that is I want to be able to bring my mom and my sister and her kids from Trinidad to the U.S.
Okay.
So having a place where they can live, where they're not, and I'm not paying for them.
Sure.
Right, because other tenants would pay for that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the goal.
Nice.
And to do that, I need to hit between 16 and 20 million over the course of the next 2 to 3 years.
Okay. That's good goals. You got your numbers. It's not like you're just shooting out in the dark. You kind of know where your targets are.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. And what about personally? Is there any things you're going to do? Like anything that you personally, like, you know, whether it's run a marathon or get a black belt or anything like that? Anything that you're looking to do?
Personally, I just want to lose some weight.
Okay.
You know? Like,
I know that feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like everybody see me and they're like, oh, you look great and that type of stuff, but I know that I can be a little bit better.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you still swim yourself personally?
I don't.
No.
No, I don't.
No.
Not as much as I did before. I still work out. I got more into like HIIT classes, where like we're consistently moving, lifting weights, cardio, that type of stuff. That type of stuff that I never did for the first 25 years of my athletic life.
Yeah.
I know I'm enjoying that.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is the opposite of me, because I'm like, my body is so beat up from the physical stuff where I'm like, man, I really need to learn how to swim.
Right.
Because that's like zero joint stress or, you know, it's killer workout. It's great to go through. Like you see swimmers and you don't see fat swimmers. You know what I mean? Like if you're swimming, you're built in the physique wise. So that's awesome. And when did you start swimming? Did you like do that aggressively? Were you like a competition swimmer or?
So I could remember this like yesterday. The first day that I got into swimming was out of fear.
Okay.
Right. The school used to take us to this one pool, and a bunch of us would be learning to swim. Right. The instructor was like, "Ready, go," and I was like, "This is a deep end. I ain't going in the deep end." And then I saw him do this. He gave the girl behind me a signal, and the signal was.
Nice.
So she pushed me into the water, and I was like, "Oh, can I?"
You can curse. It's okay.
Yeah. I was like, "Oh shit!" So I kept my head down, and I started swimming. I ran out of air. Well, didn't completely run out of air. I started to run out of air, and then the arms started churning faster, legs started churning faster, and then the instructor was like to the teacher, was like, "Hey, this kid can swim. You tell his parents that like he needs to get onto a swim team." And then it was kind of like summer swim with the program that like I got into, which was like. It was like kind of serious, but like not serious, not as serious as USA Swim.
Okay.
That's like club swim. That's what I coached. And then I started getting better and better. And then my dad was like, "You know what? We're gonna move you to a more serious team." That was when the work began.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My ex-wife was like a super competitive swimmer, and like her 13, 14, and 15-year-old, like she was in Maryland. They would swim at Annapolis and the big pools and all that stuff. And I worked at a swim club for a while, and talk about crazies.
Yeah.
Like swim parents are nutty, man. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like they don't care. They'll spend $20,000 getting their kid private lessons, and they will be screaming and yelling and turn into a whole different type of Karen out there on the swim team. Man.
Exactly.
They're nutty, man.
Yeah.
How'd you deal with that? You know?
So first growing up, I was like a people pleaser.
Okay.
So. Which wasn't good if you had your own philosophies and all that stuff. Because then you're being pulled in too many different places if you listen to too many people and actually implemented what they did. And that's what I tried to do. I tried to make people happy, right? And the same people that I tried to make happy, at the end of the year or at the end of 2 years, they'll still take the kids and move them to a different club.
Sure.
Right? When they didn't see the results that they wanted to see for their kids. Right. So I was like, fuck this shit. I was like, I'm going to do it my way. And if you don't like it, you can leave the team. Because at that point in time, I took the team from 60 kids to 135 kids.
Okay.
Right. So now by doing that, you increase your clientele, and now you're living in an abundance mindset. You're like, you don't like, you get the fuck out.
That's right.
You understand? This is how I do it.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, that's another goal too. In the next 2 years, to be able to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, with really unbearable real estate clients.
Yeah.
Right now, you just gotta like bite your teeth and do the grind and manage expectations.
Can't be firing clients right now, but you get there like yeah. It is tough because you're working a 100% commission job.
Yeah.
You know, and people sometimes talk to you like.
Right.
Without respect and without any type of like you're their servant. You better jump when they say jump. And if you got no loans in your pipeline or you got no deals in your pipeline, guess what? Jim's jumping. You know what I mean? But if I got 13 loans in the pipeline, I'm like, hey, you know what? I don't really like the way you're talking to me right now. So call somebody else. You know? So it's a good freedom to have, man. All right, your final question, your personal question.
Yeah.
You can interview anybody.
Yeah.
Throughout history.
Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson?
Mike Tyson.
Damn, he was quick as can be. That's your guy.
Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson. You want 30 minutes with Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
What's your first question you're asking Mike Tyson?
I'd be like, what was it like having that mindset? Like that savage mindset?
Yeah.
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 He was amazing.
Yeah.
You know,
He was a savage.
He was a savage, and he was. I'm not the biggest boxing fan, but I'm a fringe boxing fan. When he walked into the ring, he's the only person I've ever seen where the fight was over.
Yeah.
It didn't even start yet, and the dude that got in the ring knew he was about to get his ass whooped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was no, you could see him shake. I remember Marvis Frazier looking like, oh man, this is going to be the beating, you know? And I remember, I was actually funny that when Tyson fought Evander Holyfield and bit his ear, I was at Eleanor McKenna's house watching, they had the fight on the big screen outside, and I'm friendly with Pat Jr., the son. I was working with Pat at the time, and I was there watching it. And I remember, like, I can't believe somebody is not just standing up to Tyson, like taking it to him. And I saw it in his mind. He melted down. He never had anybody stand up to him. He just lost it. And but he was like ridiculous. That's an awesome answer. Yeah. Roscoe, thank you so much for coming by.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Awesome. We'll be back next week with another edition of Mr. Mortgage's Neighborhood.
See you later, guys.